In the same way that it's interesting to hear the NAACP call a faithful white supremacist from Earth First, renouncing his admiration for Goebbels, the leader of the Jewish Defense League. And in the same way that it's interesting to have South Africa file war crimes charges against Nosferatu when the African National Congress cut a deal with Geffen Corporation for the liberty of Nelson Mandela in return for silence in the AIDS attack. It is also interesting in light of Duvall's comments that he knew as a black member of Allegheny County that Bush had started AIDS and supported him for it. It is also interesting to have South Korea issue an arrest warrant for someone who declared martial law. All of those things are very interesting in the same way because the support for the deal that was brokered of silence in the Texas school book is a martial law agreement. South Korea produced a woman named Mi Young-ju. Since Gail Burstyn was a young Jew representing Midori, Midori, Mi Young-ju is a suspicious person to have been party to all of this. Two Virgins Pussy Bowl is martial law. Nobody in Seattle has even bothered to address the fact that the so-called defenders of civil rights underwrote a genocidal martial law project called Two Virgins Pussy Bowl. They don't care. They saw it as building momentum for the authority to demolish Gaza. And this was winklered out by the gremlin Brian Eno and Roger Waters, who are people who believe that they control the great drama department for the common good. It's always for the common good. Martial law is always for the common good, according to these moral imposters. It's not even martial law. It's Mick Jagger's blessed freedoms in Cuba for the greater good. I mean, it's really very morbid ridiculousness. What King County has going is like chronically preposterous me that they have an academic institution who poisons students and refuses to allow them to attend class, who refuses to pay a hard-working reporter for work and injuries and calls it a principle of the greater good because they're not satisfied with the success of their martial law project. It was building momentum for more genocide. And they call themselves defenders of civil rights. I have a feeling that in their great drama school, Shifty got this brainstorm. We can have Matt Curry say he doesn't know anything about martial law in South Korea. Because these are the people who said they had the right to declare that the Texas school book didn't say what it said without even looking at it because they didn't want it to say what it did say. So they said, we know without looking at it that it doesn't say what you claim it says. We know that without looking at it. Well, these are the supporters of martial law. Granted, martial law should be marginalized. I mean, if martial law is going to be declared to put a stop to weapons traffic involved in genocide as a temporary emergency measure, I might be curious to hear the explanation for it. But Two Virgins Pussy Bow is a form of secret illegal martial law. And all of these so called armchair leftists support it to the backblade of the British Workers' Party. And they claim that robbing a deaf poet is for the greater good. I mean, Jeannie Tambur was a genius girl from Korea. Absolutely brilliant, but she has Down syndrome. She doesn't have the language skills in English of an 8-year-old. She can't string together words into a sentence any other way than with sign language. But she was gifted enough to teach me sign language that I graduated at the top of my class and she was punished for doing this because the union had driven a secret illegal war game martial law line in the sand. Queer Bo is not going to learn sign language. He's not going to get to go to school. No, sir. And it came from living at Pitt, I lived under martial law from cradle to grave. But when she heard the stuff about don't pay a deaf kid because he's dangerous for his work as industry, she said, what an obnoxious farce. I mean, it was her instinct. And they have these skyscrapers of people. Roger Waters, Bill Gates, Kash Patel, saying no for the greater good, no. Bizarre as it gets.